The scissors snip echoed like a gunshot in the quiet living room, severing Alex from the family portrait forever. His mother's hands trembled as she pasted over the empty space where his face had been, her eyes dry, but her jaw clenched in silent fury. In that moment, 25-year-old Alex Harper knew his truth. His love for another man had carved him out of their lives, leaving only a ghost in the silver frame. Rain hammered the windshield of Alex's beat-up Ford as he sped down Interstate 80, the Nebraska plains blurring into a gray smear outside. It was June 2015, and he'd bolted from his family's Omaha suburb 3 months after that photo album betrayal, chasing whispers of acceptance in Chicago's bustling queer scene. But tonight, exhaustion clawed at him. He'd been crashing on friends' couches, bartending at a dive called the Blue Line, where rainbow flags fluttered like fragile promises. His phone buzzed with a text from his ex, Jordan. "Miss you. Come back." Alex ignored it, fingers white-knuckled on the wheel. Jordan had been his anchor, a fellow artist with ink-stained hands and a laugh that lit up smoky galleries. But the breakup had been brutal, fueled by Alex's fear that loving too hard would only invite more cuts. A siren wailed behind him, red and blue lights piercing the storm. He pulled over, heart pounding, as a state trooper approached. "License and registration." The officer grunted, rain dripping from his hat. Alex handed them over, stomach twisting. The cop shone a flashlight into the car, eyes narrowing at the rainbow sticker on the dash. "You been drinking?" No, Alex hadn't. But the accusation hung heavy, laced with the casual bigotry he'd fled. Minutes stretched into eternity before the officer waved him on with a warning. Back on the road, tears mixed with rain on his cheeks. Why did every mile feel like judgment? By dawn, Alex reached the outskirts of Des Moines, pulling into a truck stop for coffee black as his mood. The diner hummed with truckers and early risers, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. He slid into a booth, scrolling job listings on his cracked phone, barista gigs, warehouse shifts, anything to scrape by. A news alert pinged. Flash floods ravage Iowa countryside. Evacuations underway. He glanced out the window. The sky was clearing, but rivers swelled nearby. Shaking it off, he ordered eggs, forcing normalcy. That's when he met Riley. She was a waitress, mid-40s, with laugh lines etched deep and a name tag pinned crookedly to her apron. "First time in Iowa?" she asked, pouring his coffee with a wink. Alex nodded, managing a smile. Riley lingered, chatting about her kid sister who'd just moved to town, chasing a nursing degree. "Family's everything, you know? Even when they drive you nuts." Her words stung, but her warmth cracked his shell. By the time he paid, she'd slipped him her number. "Call if you need a couch. Strangers are just friends you haven't met." Chicago welcomed him with open arms and concrete jaws. He found a sublet in Boys Town, a one-room walk-up smelling of takeout and fresh paint. The neighborhood pulsed with life, drag brunches at cafes, pride flags snapping in the wind off Lake Michigan. At the Blue Line, Alex mixed drinks with flair, earning tips from leather-clad regulars and wide-eyed tourists. Jordan showed up one night, all brooding charm in a fitted tee, and they fell back into rhythm. Late-night sketches in Alex's apartment, bodies close but boundaries blurred by unspoken hurts. But the past was a shadow that followed. Packages arrived from Omaha, birthday cards unsigned, his old sketchbooks minus the ones with Jordan's face. His mother, Evelyn, had always been the enforcer of perfection. PTA president, church volunteer, her love conditional on conformity. His father, Tom, a stoic mechanic, had simply turned away when Alex came out at 17, whispering, "This isn't us." Siblings scattered. Older brother Nate, married with kids in Lincoln. Sister Lila, the golden child studying law in Boston. Alex's queerness was the family stain, scrubbed out like ink from linen. One autumn evening, as leaves turned crimson along the lakefront, Alex's world tilted. He was walking home from a gallery opening. Jordan's exhibit on queer invisibility, raw and aching, when his phone rang. Unknown number. "Alex Harper?" A woman's voice, clipped and urgent. "This is Detective Laura Klein, Chicago PD. There's been an incident. Your family's involved." His knees buckled against a lamppost. "What now?" "A car crash," they said. His parents, driving back from a church retreat in Wisconsin, hydroplaned on black ice. Evelyn dead at the scene. Tom critical, airlifted to Northwestern Memorial. The hospital was a sterile maze of beeps and bleach. Alex arrived disheveled, Jordan trailing behind with quiet support. Tom lay pale in ICU, tubes snaking from his arms, eyes fluttering open to fix on his son. "Alex," he rasped, voice a gravel whisper. No apology, just a plea. "The album. Fix it." Confusion swirled, but before Alex could press, nurses shooed him out. In the waiting room, Nate arrived, suit rumpled, hugging Alex stiffly. "She wouldn't want this," Nate muttered, gesturing vaguely. Lila flew in later, composed in pearls, but her eyes darted away when Alex mentioned Jordan. The funeral was a study in restraint. Evelyn's casket draped in lilies, hymns rising like smoke. Alex stood at the back, Jordan's hand a secret anchor in his pocket. Whispers rippled, cousins murmuring about lifestyle choices, aunts clutching Bibles tighter. Tom, discharged against advice, wheeled in last, his gaze locking on Alex across the pews. That night, alone in his apartment, Alex pulled out the old photo album Evelyn had mailed months ago, pages pristine except for that one jagged void. His scissors-cut silhouette haunted him. Winter gripped Chicago, snow blanketing the city in hush. Alex threw himself into work, sketching feverishly. Portraits of strangers at the bar, their hidden stories etched in charcoal. Jordan moved in temporarily, their reconnection a tentative bridge over old chasms. "You're not invisible," Jordan murmured one night, tracing Alex's jaw. But doubt festered. Tom's recovery was slow. Calls from Nate were logistical, never warm. "Dad wants to see the grandkids more," Nate said once, implying Alex's absence was the gap. Spring thawed the ice, but not the rifts. Alex volunteered at a local LGBTQ center, facilitating support groups for queer youth estranged from family. There, he met Kai, a trans man in his early 20s, sharp-witted and scarred by rejection. Their friendship bloomed over coffee runs and late-night texts. Kai's humor a balm, his stories mirroring Alex's. "Family isn't blood," Kai said one evening, as they watched the lake sparkle. "It's who shows up." Jordan noticed the spark, jealousy flickering like a shorted wire. Arguments ensued. "He's just a friend," Alex insisted. But Jordan's insecurities, born of his own conservative upbringing in rural Indiana, boiled over. "Am I enough? Or are you always looking?" The breaking point came in May, during Pride Month prep. Alex was organizing a float for the parade, channeling his pain into banners proclaiming "Love Uncut." Jordan bailed on helping, citing a deadline. Kai stepped in, their easy rapport drawing stares. That night, Jordan packed a bag. "I can't compete with ghosts," he said, doors slamming like finality. Alex crumpled, calling Riley, the Iowa waitress who'd become a pen pal of sorts. "Come visit," she urged. Fresh air heals. Des Moines was greener than he remembered, fields rolling under vast skies. Riley picked him up at the airport, her truck loaded with coolers for a family barbecue. "Meet the clan," she grinned. Her home was chaos, nephews chasing fireflies, her sister Mia wrangling toddlers. Among them, a tiny newcomer, Elias, Mia's 6-month-old, born premature with a fighter's spirit. "Saved him from the NICU wars," Mia said proudly. Alex held the baby, Elias's fist curling around his finger, and something cracked open, a fierce protectiveness, unbidden and profound. The barbecue hummed with laughter, but tension simmered. Riley's brother-in-law, a burly farmer named Greg, eyed Alex's rainbow bracelet. "City boy, huh? Polite, but probing." Stories flowed, local floods last summer, church potlucks. As dusk fell, Mia handed Elias to Alex for a walk. The infant cooed, safe in his arms, and for the first time in years, Alex felt whole. Not fixed, but held. That's when the accident happened. A freak storm rolled in, thunder cracking like judgment. They were driving back from the park, Alex in the passenger seat with Elias strapped beside him, Mia at the wheel. Rain lashed the windshield. A semi hydroplaned across the median. Time slowed, metal screeching, glass shattering. Mia swerved, but the impact was inevitable. The car spun, flipping into the ditch. Alex's world went black, the last sound Elias's wail piercing the chaos. He woke to sirens, pain lancing his side. Paramedics swarmed, extracting him from the wreck. "The baby," He gasped, ribs protesting. Safe, one said, but Mia, her head lolled unnaturally. Horror gripped him. At the hospital, chaos reigned. Mia in surgery, Elias miraculously unscathed, tiny cries echoing down the hall. Alex, concussed and bruised, refused release until he saw the child. Nurses allowed it. He cradled Elias, whispering nonsense, tears streaming. You're okay, little guy? I've got you. Word spread like prairie fire. Riley arrived, face ashen, pulling Alex into a hug. You shielded him, she sobbed. Push the car seat down with your body. Greg, hovering awkwardly, clapped his shoulder. Oh, you man. But deeper currents stirred. News crews descended. Gay Chicago artist saves infant in crash. The headline twisting his quiet heroism into spectacle. Back in Chicago, his phone exploded. Nate calling, Lila texting prayers. Tom, from his Omaha recliner, watched the broadcast, the reporter's voiceover blurring with memory. Alexander Harper, estranged from family after coming out. The drive to Iowa became a pilgrimage. Alex rented a car, Elias's borrowed carrier in the back, en route to Mia's recovery. But first, a detour, Omaha. Tom's text had been terse. Come. Now. Heart hammering. Alex pulled into the old driveway, the house unchanged. White siding, American flag limp in heat. Tom answered the door, thinner, cane in hand. Inside, he grunted. The living room smelled of liniment and regret. The photo album lay open on the coffee table, Alex's cutout page mended crudely with tape. I was wrong, Tom said, voice cracking. No preamble, just truth. Evelyn's death had unearthed letters she'd hidden, Alex's childhood drawings, a note from Jordan she'd burned but couldn't forget. She cut you out to protect us, she thought. From the world. Not from her. Tears carved tracks down Tom's weathered cheeks. Nate and Lila filtered in, summoned, their facades crumbling. We followed her lead, Nate admitted. Cowards. Lila reached for Alex's hand. Forgive us. It wasn't simple. Words tumbled. Hurt aired like laundry, prejudices unpacked. Alex spoke of the bar's whispers, the hospital's cold shoulder, Jordan's absence of fresh wound. Love isn't a choice to hide. Tom nodded, pulling a faded photo from his wallet. Young Alex at prom, arm around a boy, smile radiant. Kept this. Always did. Elias's photo, clipped from the news, sat beside it. A bridge of tiny hands. Mia recovered slowly, Elias her light. Alex visited weekly, the baby his North Star. Kai tagged along once, his presence normalizing the new normal. See? Family expands, Kai teased. Jordan returned in July, humbled by distance. Their reconciliation a slow burn over picnics by the Mississippi. I was scared, he confessed, of losing you to them. Alex pulled him close. You're my home. By fall, the album was whole. Alex's face restored, Elias's christening photo added beside. Tom's church group hosted a panel on acceptance, his shaky voice leading. My son taught me love. Pride in Chicago that year. Alex marched with a contingent, Riley's family waving signs, Mia cradling Elias in a tiny rainbow onesie. The newborn hadn't just been saved. He'd mended fractures, proving blood ties bend, not break. Yet twists lingered. One crisp October night, as leaves swirled, a letter arrived from Lila. Pregnant, scared, seeking Alex's wisdom on raising queer. He flew to Boston, holding her hand through ultrasounds, their sibling bond reforged in vulnerability. Back home, Greg proposed a partnership, Riley's farm needing hands, Alex's art adorning the barn. You're kin now, Greg said, beer raised. The final surprise unfolded at Thanksgiving. Tom gathered them all, Omaha house bursting with turkey and tension. Jordan arrived, ring box hidden in his pocket. But before proposals, a video, Evelyn's old camcorder footage, unearthed from the attic. Her voice, young and laughing. Alex's first word was love. The room stilled, then wept. In that grainy glow, the family saw her hidden heart, flawed but fierce. As snow dusted the windows, Alex stepped outside with Elias bundled against him. The baby gurgled, fist waving at stars. Jordan joined, arm around Alex's waist. Brought you home, Alex murmured to the child. And in the quiet, he felt it, not erasure, but embrace. The album, once a wound, now a testament. Love, uncut, unbreakable. But peace was a fragile thing, easily upended by the ghosts that lingered in the margins. Weeks after Thanksgiving, as Alex sketched holiday cards in his Chicago studio, now shared with Jordan again, the phone rang with an unfamiliar area code. Boston. Lila's voice trembled on the line. It's not just the baby. There's more. She hesitated, words catching like thorns. What she revealed next shattered the tentative mending. Their father, Tom, harbored a secret of his own, one Evelyn had buried deeper than Alex's photo cutout. A letter from Tom's youth, discovered in the attic cleanup, addressed to a man named Daniel. Passionate, pleading, signed with love. Tom had been queer too, or at least loved as such, before the weight of 1950s expectations crushed it silent. Alex's world spun. Driving to Omaha that weekend, Jordan at his side, he replayed family dinners. Tom's averted eyes, his gruff silences. Was it shame projected, or protection withheld? They arrived to find Tom in the garage, tools scattered, hands idle for once. Knew you'd come, he said, not meeting their gaze. The letter lay on the workbench, yellowed paper fragile as memory. Daniel, a fellow soldier in Korea, lost to war's maw. Tom had returned, married Evelyn to fit the mold, but the ache never faded. I cut you out, Tom confessed, voice raw, because I saw myself. Couldn't bear you suffering my cage. The revelation rippled outward. Nate, ever the mediator, organized a family summit in the living room. Furniture pushed back like defenses lowered. Lila, belly swelling with her secret hopes for an open home, shared her own doubts. A college fling with a woman, dismissed as phase. We all hid, she said, tears glistening. Alex listened, anger ebbing into empathy. Jordan, outsider no more, spoke quietly. Hiding hurts everyone. By evening, they'd burned the letter, not an erasure, but release. Ashes swirling up the chimney like freed sighs. Iowa called Alex back in December, Elias's first Christmas a beacon. Mia, fully healed but forever changed, had started a support group for single moms in recovery. You gave me time, she told Alex over eggnog, Elias gnawing a wooden block. Riley beamed, her farm now a haven for queer runaways. Kai crashing there between Chicago shifts. But conflict brewed. Greg, traditional to his core, chafed at the influx. This ain't a hostel, he grumbled one night, after a heated dinner where Kai outed a family rumor. Alex mediated, heart heavy. Prejudice's roots ran deep, even in allies. The storm hit on New Year's Eve, literal and figurative. A blizzard blanketed Des Moines, stranding guests at the farm. Power flickered, candles casting long shadows as stories poured out. Greg admitted his brother's suicide, unspoken queerness the unspoken culprit. Feared you'd bring that curse, he said to Alex, voice breaking. Vulnerability bridged the gap. By midnight, toasts rang for new beginnings. Jordan, watching Alex cradle Elias amid the revelry, whispered, "Marry me?" Not yet, Alex thought, too many threads unraveling. Back in Chicago, winter's grip tightened with a twist neither expected. At the LGBTQ Center, a new group member appeared. Sarah, a trans woman fleeing conversion therapy scars from her evangelical family. Her story echoed Alex's. Parents who'd loved the sinner, hated the sin, until she vanished. As facilitator, Alex bonded with her over art therapy sessions, her watercolors blooming with defiant color. Jordan noticed the late hours, old insecurities flaring. Not again, he muttered after one canceled date. The argument escalated in their kitchen, pots clanging like accusations. I'm helping her heal, not replacing you, Alex shouted. Jordan stormed out, crashing with a friend, the ring box left on the sill. Despair clawed at Alex. He drove aimlessly, ending up at the lakefront, ice-crusted waves mocking his turmoil. Kai found him there, thermos of soup in hand. Love's messy, but it's yours, Kai said, sharing his own post-transition heartbreaks. Their talk stretched hours, friendship a lifeline. Meanwhile, Sarah confided a crisis, her family tracking her down, demanding reconciliation on their terms. They want the old me back. Alex rallied the center, funds for legal aid, a safe house offer from Riley. But the climax came unbidden. Sarah's brother showed at the center, Bible in hand, preaching fire. Chaos erupted, shouts, a shoved chair. Alex stepped between, voice steady. Leave, or we call security. Love doesn't force. The brother backed down, but the encounter unearthed Alex's own unresolved fury. That night, he called Tom. How do you forgive? Tom's paws stretched, then, one day at a time. And truth. Inspired, Alex tracked Jordan to a gallery opening. His ex's new show on fractured identities. Among abstract shards of glass and light, they collided. I was wrong, Jordan said first. Feared losing you to the fight. Alex pulled him into a shadowed corner. Kiss fierce but chaste, promise sealed. Fight together. Spring 2016 bloomed, with fragile hope. Lila's baby arrived. A girl, Nora, with Alex's eyes. He flew east, holding his niece as Lila whispered. Uncles turned to teach acceptance. Back west, Elias took first steps at the farm, toddling into Alex's arms. Mia watched, grateful. My hero, she teased. But prejudice's shadow loomed. A local pastor railed against the gay savior narrative, twisting the crash story into sin's warning. Protests formed at the farm gate, signs waving hate. Greg manned the barricade, shotgun unloaded but stance firm. Not on my land. The standoff peaked in June, Pride Month again. Alex organized a countermarch through Des Moines. Queer families, allies marching with Elias's stroller as banner. Tom joined, cane tapping rhythm, his presence a quiet thunder. Cameras flashed, headlines shifted, generations march for love. In the crowd, Sarah reunited with a repentant sister, hugs amid confetti. Jordan proposed then, on one knee in the square, ring glinting. Home is you, he said. Alex, yes, tears salting the yes. Yet the deepest twist awaited in Omaha that summer. Tom's health faltered, heart strained from years of buried weight. In the hospital, monitors beeping, he handed Alex a box. Evelyn's diaries, pages filled with doubt and devotion. She loved you fierce, Tom said. Cut to cope, not condemn. Entries chronicled her silent vigils at Pride events, anonymous donations to the center. Grief and grace intertwined. The family eulogized her anew, flaws forgiven. As leaves turned once more, Alex and Jordan planned a wedding. Small, lakeside, with Elias as ring bearer. Kai officiated, Riley catered pie. Nate walked Alex down an aisle of wildflowers. Lila cradled Nora nearby. Tom, recovering, raised a toast to albums rewritten. The vows echoed. In cuts and saves, we find whole. Elias, now a rambunctious 1-year-old, tugged at Alex's cuff. The child who'd bridged worlds now symbolized them all, innocence unbound by bias. In quiet moments, Alex sketched the album's final page. Faces whole, futures open. Love, he'd learned, wasn't absence or addition, but persistence. Through storms and silences, it endured. Fall deepened into a mosaic of amber and regret, the wedding's afterglow fading against encroaching doubts. Alex and Jordan honeymooned in the Smoky Mountains, cabins creaking under autumn weight, but whispers of family fractures trailed them. Back in Chicago, the center buzzed with expansion plans, funded by Tom's quiet bequest, a gesture as understated as his love. Yet expansion bred exposure. A donor, a conservative philanthropist with ties to Evelyn's church, withdrew support upon learning of Alex's role. Conflicts with values. The email read, cold as rejection. The blow landed hard. Alex paced their apartment, sketches tearing under frustrated hands. It's always this, he vented to Jordan, who brewed tea with measured calm. One step forward, two shoved back. Jordan pulled him close, but tension simmered. Jordan's freelance gigs drying up, his own family in Indiana sending Bible tracts instead of congratulations. We're building something, Jordan reminded. Don't let them unbuild it. But sleep evaded Alex, nightmares of scissors and crashes replaying in monochrome. Iowa's farm became refuge that November. Elias, into everything, smeared paint on Alex's jeans during a barn mural session. Queer icons splashed across weathered wood. Mia laughed, her strength a quiet force. Hate's loud, but we endure. Riley confided her own strain. Greg's back acting up from protest vigils, finances strained by the safe house. Worth it, she said, but weariness lined her eyes. Kai, visiting, organized a talent night, trans poets, gay fiddlers, Elias banging pots. Laughter echoed, but outside, a lone picketer chanted slurs, voice swallowed by wind. The real conflict ignited over Christmas. Lila invited the clan to Boston, Nora's first holiday allure. Flights booked, but Tom's doctor nixed travel, pneumonia lurking. Go without me, he insisted, but Alex saw the isolation's bite. Instead, they pivoted, virtual feast via video, screens flickering with toasts. Nate's kids sang carols off-key. Lila's tree twinkled behind her. But mid-call, Greg's face appeared, flushed. Trouble at the farm. That pastor's rallying a boycott. Says we're corrupting the town. Threats of vandalism hung unspoken. Alex flew west immediately, Jordan in tow. The farm gate sported fresh graffiti, Sodom's barn. Greg paced, rifle in hand. Not for use, but comfort. Won't let him touch my boy, he growled, meaning Elias. The community fractured. Old friends shunning Riley at the co-op, whispers in pews. Alex confronted the pastor at a town hall, voice amplified by Mike. Faith should lift, not lash. Applause mixed with boos, a scuffle broke out, fists flying. Kai pulled Alex back, bruised but unbowed. In the aftermath, alliances shifted. Sarah, from Chicago, drove down with center volunteers, turning the farm into a fortified festival. Music, food, rainbow lights defying dark. The pastor's crowd dwindled, shamed by neighbors' quiet defections. Greg, witnessing a trans teen's poem on loss, softened further. Reminds me of my brother, he admitted later, over whiskey with Alex. Should have fought harder. The night ended in bonfire stories, Elias asleep on Mia's lap, unity forged in flame. But personal storms brewed. Jordan, back in Chicago, confessed a relapse. Anonymous hookups born of stress, guilt gnawing. I panicked, he sobbed into Alex's shoulder upon reunion. Betrayal stung, sharp as glass. How do I trust? Alex demanded, heart fracturing anew. They sought counseling at the center. A queer therapist unpacking layers. Jordan's internalized shame, Alex's abandonment fears. Sessions stretched raw, but honesty healed. We're flawed, the therapist said. Love chooses anyway. Winter thawed into a tentative spring 2017, Elias's second birthday, a milestone. The party sprawled across the farm, piñata swinging, cake smeared on chubby cheeks. Tom video called, healthier, Nora babbling beside Lila on screen. Yet a letter arrived that week, from Daniel's nephew, traced via Tom's old army records. Uncle spoke of you always, it read, enclosing photos. Young Tom and Daniel, arms slung casual, eyes alight. The images unlocked floods, Tom weeping openly for the first time, Alex holding him as father held son. The discovery spurred action. Tom penned a memoir, halting prose on hidden loves, self-published for family eyes. Nate edited, Lila illustrated. It became their album's companion, Truths Unbound. Alex read passages aloud at center groups, voices nodding in recognition. You're giving words to our silences, Sarah said, her own book in progress. Climax crested in June, Pride's fever pitch. Chicago's parade swelled record crowds, but Des Moines hosted a satellite event, Farm as epicenter. Protesters gathered again, amplified by national media sniffing scandal. Alex, Jordan hand in hand, led the march, Elias in a wagon pulled by Kai. Chants rose, love wins. But midway, a bottle sailed from the crowd, shattering at Alex's feet. Chaos erupted, pushes, screams. In the melee, Elias wailed, wagon tipping. Alex dove, shielding the child as before, glass nicking his arm. Jordan hauled him up, blood streaking. Sirens wailed, arrests made. Hospital again, stitches for Alex, comfort for Elias. Mia arrived frantic, but seeing her son safe in Alex's arms, she exhaled. My guardian, she whispered. The incident went viral, hero hurt and hate attack. Donations poured, center expanded. The pastor resigned, conscience pricked by footage of his flock's faces, neighbors he'd alienated. Healing wove through summer. Jordan and Alex renewed vows privately, lakeside, rings exchanged with Elias as witness. Through cuts and crashes, Jordan vowed. Lila birthed stories of Nora's curiosity, First words echoing uncle. Tom visited the farm. Kane traded for crutches, bonding with Greg over engine talk. Two fathers bridging worlds. By harvest, the mural on the barn gleamed, Elias's handprints dotted like stars. Alex sketched the scene. Family sprawled in hay, faces lit by sunset. Prejudice's echoes faded, not gone, but diminished. Love, he'd affirm, was the ultimate twist, unexpected, unrelenting. Autumn's palette bled into winter's stark white, 2017 closing with a hush that belied brewing tempests. The farm's mural, now a town landmark, drew tourists and trolls alike. Selfies snapped beside protest scars painted over with flowers. Alex reveled in the resilience, but Jordan chafed at the spotlight's glare. "We're not exhibits," he grumbled during a gallery interview, his abstracts selling briskly but soul stretched thin. Alex nodded, but his own commissions flowed. Portraits for the center, capturing queer elders' gazes, wisdom etched in lines. Elias's toddler tyranny brought levity, tantrums over boots, glee at puddles. Mia enrolled in community college, nursing dreams reignited, Riley babysitting with aplomb. "This kid's got your fire," she told Alex, dodging a flung spoon. Kai settled in Des Moines with a barista gig, dated a local poet, their romance a whirlwind of open mics. Finally, no hiding. Kai texted, photo attached, hands intertwined under cafe lights. But family vines tangled anew. Nate called in January, voice edged. His wife, sensing the memoir's ripple, demanded distance. "Says it's influencing the kids wrong." Alex drove to Lincoln, Jordan opting for space. Nate's home was suburbia incarnate, minivan and drive, toy strewn. Over coffee, Nate confessed, "I envied you. Coming out took guts I lacked." His wife joined later, defenses down, admitting fear of her own rigid upbringing. "Teach us," she pleaded. Alex stayed the weekend, reading Tom's book aloud, questions flowing like balm. By Sunday, a family game night sealed tentative peace, Monopoly dollars no match for real bridges. Chicago thawed with March rains, but a storm hit the center, funding cuts from City Hall, whispers of divisive programming. Alex rallied, petitions, bake sales, but exhaustion mounted. Sarah stepped up, her advocacy fierce, organizing a benefit concert. Jordan curated art, his pieces auctioned for thousands. The night hummed electric, fiddles wailing, voices rising. Yet midway, a heckler stormed the stage. Evelyn's old church deacon, face twisted. "Abomination," he bellowed. Security escorted him out, but the venom lingered, Sarah trembling in Alex's arms. When does it end? It nearly did for Jordan that spring. A lucrative commission beckoned. New York gallery, queer themes, but required weeks away. "Go," Alex urged, masking unease. Alone, doubts amplified. Late nights at the farm, Elias's hugs a highlight amid Mia's study stress. Greg noticed Alex's pallor. "Boys wearing thin," he said, handing a thermos. Their talks deepened, Greg sharing farm lore, Alex his city scars. One evening, as stars pricked the sky, Greg asked, "You ever think of staying? For the little one?" The question lodged like a hook. Jordan returned transformed, city buzz rekindling his spark, but distance had frayed threads. "Missed you," he said, but Alex heard the unsaid. More than home. Arguments flared over smalls. Unpacked boxes, canceled plans. "You're drifting," Jordan accused. "To Iowa, to them." Alex fired back. "And you're running. To lights, to escape." A slammed door, silence thick as fog. Kai mediated over beers, his trans lens sharp. "Relationships bend, don't break easy." Inspired, Alex drove to Omaha unannounced. Tom, pottering in the garden, sensed the storm. "Spit it," he said. Alex unloaded. The pull of family, fear of repeating cuts. Tom chuckled wryly. "Love's not zero-sum. Room for all." He shared a story, Evelyn's wanderlust, vacations planned but never taken. "She chose us over dreams. Don't you choose half." Clarity struck like dawn. Alex proposed a compromise, split time, Chicago base with farm weekends. Jordan agreed warily, therapy resuming. Sessions unearthed Jordan's core wound, father's rejection post-coming out, mirrors to Tom's silence. "I push away to protect," Jordan admitted. Alex squeezed his hand. Stay and fight. Summer 2018 scorched the plains. Elias's pool splashes a soundtrack to growth. Lila visited the farm, Nora toddling beside. Sibling playdates chaotic joy. But a twist uncoiled. Mia's ex, Elias's father, surfaced. Cleaned up, custody petition in hand. I changed, he claimed, eyes earnest. Court loomed, stress etching Mia's face. Alex testified first. The crash night, his instinct to shield. Elias needs stability, he said. Greg backed her, farmer's oath solid. The judge ruled for Mia, supervised visits only, but the scare lingered, bonds tightening. Pride that year fused cities. Chicago to Des Moines convoy, floats trailing. Tom marched the full route, sweat beading, pride swelling. In the square, Sarah emceed, her book launch announced, Memoir of Survival. Sales boomed, royalties seeding scholarships. Jordan's exhibit paralleled, uncut threads, weaving family fabrics. Climax brewed in August heat. A fire, arson suspected, raised the barn's edge, mural blackened. Investigators pointed to the deacon's nephew, grudge festering. Grief choked the farm. Alex sifted ashes, finding Elias's handprint tile intact. A sign, Riley murmured. Community rebuilt. Hammers ringing, donations doubling. The arsonist confessed, sentence light, but lesson heavy. Hate consumes, the judge intoned. From ruins rose renewal. Alex designed a Phoenix mural, Jordan's abstracts integrated. Opening night, Tom unveiled a plaque. For Daniel, Evelyn, all unseen. Tears flowed. Elias, oblivious, chased bubbles. Lila announced her move west. Boston too confining, Nora needing ants. Nate followed suit, job transfer to Des Moines. By fall, the farm pulsed anew. Greenhouse for queer youth gardens, art residencies. Alex and Jordan adopted a rescue dog, Chaos complementing Elias's visits. Therapy wove tighter. We're woven, not wired, Jordan quipped. Love's drama, Alex reflected, lay in the mending, stitches visible, strength profound. Winter 2018 wrapped the Midwest in crystalline quiet, but undercurrents churned like hidden rivers. The farm's rebirth drew national eyes. A PBS special on sanctuary spaces. Alex interviewed amid rebuilt beams. Fame's double-edged cut. Fan mail mixed with hate. One envelope sliced open to reveal razor blades. Jordan insisted on security cams. Alex bristled at the cage. Can't live scared, he argued. But fear's whisper grew, especially after a late-night call. Sarah, in panic, her apartment vandalized. Windows smashed, slurs scrawled. The center fortified, but morale dipped. Kai organized self-defense workshops, his comma anchor. Powers in preparation, he said, demonstrating holds. Alex joined, muscles memory from college boxing, but emotional blows landed harder. Mia confided similar threats, anonymous notes warning of unfit motherhood. Elias, sensing tension, clung tighter, his babble a plea for normal. Greg patrolled perimeters, his transformation complete, from skeptic to sentinel. Family converged for New Year's. Omaha hosting amid Tom's improving health. Nate's clan arrived en masse, kids romping with Nora. Lila, unpacked from the move, shared nursery sketches. Rainbows subtle, messages bold. But dinner fractured. A cousin, visiting from Texas, cornered Alex. This queer agenda, it's dividing us. Words escalated, forks clinking silent. Tom intervened, voice steady. Dividing was silence. This is truth. The cousin stormed out, but seeds of doubt sprouted. Nate's wife questioning visits. Lila fielding church fallout. Jordan felt the strain acutely, his Indiana roots pulling like gravity. A family reunion invite arrived, neutral ground, they claimed. Show them we're fine, his mother urged via call. Jordan went alone, Alex's blessing reluctant. Reports trickled, awkward hugs, veiled barbs. Proud of you, his dad said, but eyes skittish. Jordan returned drained, collapsing into Alex. It's progress, right? Alex held him, but worry festered. Would blood reclaim? Spring 2019 greened tentatively. Elias's third birthday, a riot of balloons. Mia's graduation loomed, cap and gown a triumph. But a medical twist upended. Tom's checkup revealed arrhythmia, pacemaker needed. Routine, doctors soothed, but Alex saw terror in his father's grip. Surgery day, the waiting room a Harper tableau. Nate pacing, Lila knitting nervously, Jordan's hand in Alex's. Hours stretched, success announced, relief palpable. Post-op, Tom quipped, new heart, old lessons. But vulnerability lingered, confessions spilling, fear dying unreconciled. The center's annual gala that May glittered, black ties, rainbow sashes. Sarah's keynote soared, book on bestseller lists. Yet sabotage struck, sound system hacked mid-speech, slurs blaring. Panic rippled, Alex dashed backstage, rebooting manually, voice booming. We won't be silenced. Cheers erupted, but aftermath soured, investigation stalling, donors wavering. Kai uncovered leads, the deacon's lingering network. Conspiracy of cowards, he spat. Personal gales howled too. Jordan's gallery offered a solo show in L.A., 2 months, coast to coast. Career maker, he said, eyes pleading. Alex masked ache, go. I'll hold here. Separation tested, calls crackling with longing, texts laced with frustration. At the farm, Elias's questions pierced, where Dad Jordan. Mia mediated, her own dating sparks with a teacher adding levity. Riley teased, love's a marathon, not sprint. Midsummer, crisis crested. A heat wave scorched Iowa, wildfires edging fields. Evacuation loomed, the farm a tinderbox. Alex coordinated, horses trailered, archives boxed. In the frenzy, Elias wandered, drawn to the pond. Mia's scream alerted. Alex sprinted, plunging in, mud sucking at boots. He fished the boy out, soaked and sputtering, safe. Adrenaline crashed into sobs. Jordan, en route from L.A., arrived to wrap them both. My heroes, he whispered. The fire spared the farm, but scorched spirits. Rebuilds resumed, community potlucks fueling resolve. Tom's recovery inspired letters, to Daniel's kin, to estranged cousins. Responses varied, some warm, others walls. Lila's church hosted dialogues, her voice bridging. Nate's family recommitted, kids crafting Uncle Alex cards. Fall brought Jordan home, show acclaimed. But a proposal twist, L.A. scouts for a studio. What if we relocate, he ventured. Alex reeled, Chicago's pulse, center's pull. Debates raged, pros of sun, cons of uprooting. Kai weighed in, roots travel. Mia offered, farms always here. Ultimately, they tabled, Chicago for now, futures fluid. Pride 2019 amplified, Des Moines parade ballooned, floats fantastical. Elias rode Alex's shoulders, waving flags. Tom emceed, Mike steady. Sarah debuted a play, Queer Family Sagas. Climax, a float dedication to Evelyn. Her hidden allyship unveiled via diaries. Tears mingled with cheers. The cousin from Christmas returned, sign reading sorry. Learning. By winter's cusp, Alex sketched a new album page. Elias napping on Jordan, Nora doodling nearby. Threads intertwined, conflicts cycled, but love's arc bent toward light. Twists, he'd muse, were merely turns toward home. 2019 waned with a crystalline chill, resolutions whispered against fresh snow. The center thrived, scandals faded into stats. Youth served doubled, stories of salvation stacking like bricks. Alex mentored a new facilitator, a non-binary teen with firebrand poetry, their sessions a mirror to his youth. Jordan's L.A. flirtation simmered low, a Chicago mural commission anchoring him. Here for the long haul, he affirmed over breakfast, Elias helping with cereal spills at Mia's. Family orbits stabilized yet surprised. Tom's pacemaker hummed faithfully. He took up painting, crude but cathartic, Daniel's evoked in blues. Lila's dialogues evolved into a podcast, uncut conversations, Nora's giggles interludes. Nate's wife launched a PDA ally group, kids' art exhibits featuring rainbow crafts. But a quiet conflict simmered. Greg's health scare, prostate diagnosis, treatments taxing. Man's pride, Riley sighed, Alex stepping in for farm chores, scything hay under vast skies. Elias's preschool enrollment marked milestones, Mia beaming at drop-offs, her teaching job blooming. Kai's wedding to the poet was a farm affair, vows under oaks, Elias flower boy in overalls. Alex best man, Jordan capturing candidates. Full circle, Kai toasted, rings glinting. Spring 2020 dawned deceptive, pandemic shadows lengthening. Lockdowns clamped, center virtual, Zooms flickering with faces masked in worry. Alex adapted, online art circles fostering connection. But isolation gnawed. Jordan's gigs evaporated, anxiety spiking. Feels like regression, he confessed, pacing. Alex pulled strings, farm deliveries of produce, care packages. Tom's chemo paused, vulnerability videoed. Grateful for screens, but miss meatloaf. The virus twisted fates cruelly. Sarah tested positive, hospitalization harrowing. Ventilator whispers, Alex bedside via FaceTime. Fight like hell, he urged, her recovery a rally cry. Mia shielded Elias fiercely, homeschooling amid farm routines. A scare hit close. Nate's youngest fevered, quarantine fracturing plans. Lila drove cross-country, podcast on hiatus, bunking at the farm. Nora and Elias bonded in forts of blankets, innocence a shield. Climax surged in summer swelter. Wildfires raged again, smoke choking horizons. Evacuations ordered, the farm loaded, livestock, loved ones. In haste, Tom's old box tumbled, diaries spilling, a forgotten letter from Evelyn to Alex, dated post-cutout. My boy, forgive my fear. Love you always. Alex pocketed it, tears blurring as they fled. Highways clogged, radio crackling warnings. At a roadside motel, crammed with kin, stories anchored. Jordan reading Tom's memoir, Kai strumming guitar. Elias curled in Alex's lap, safe. The fire veered, farm spared once more. Return brought reckoning. Rebuilds green, solar panels, community gardens. Greg's treatments eased, scans clear. He hugged Alex fierce. Oh, you lifetimes. Pandemic pivoted priorities, center hybrid lives. Jordan and Alex fostered a teen briefly, queer runaway, echoes of self, teaching resilience. Fall harvested gratitude. Lila relaunched podcast, guests including the reformed cousin. Nate's family hosted hybrid Thanksgiving, screens linking coasts. Tom's painting show, small, local, drew tears, silent no more. Elias, for now, drew family portraits, stick figures whole. By December 2020, vaccines dawned like promise. Pride virtual then visceral, parades hybrid. Alex marched, Jordan filming, Elias waving from stroller. Sarah keynote de new, survivor strong. A final twist, Mia's proposal, to her teacher, rings simple. Wedding small, farm chapel, Elias ring bearer redux. 2021 unfurled with expansions. Center satellite in Omaha, Tom's oversight. Lila's book club for youth, Nora reading early. Kai's family grew, adopted sibling for Elias playdates. Greg's garden yielded, harvest shared. Alex's album, ever evolving, chronicled it. Photos uncut, annotations of grace. Jordan added sketches, Elias fingerprints. Love's narrative, dramatic and deep, wove through prejudices pierced, misunderstandings mended. The newborn saved hadn't just brought Alex home. He'd forged a constellation, stars of chosen kin shining against any dark. In quiet evenings, Alex held Elias, Jordan's head on his shoulder. Our story, he murmured. Unfinished, unfolding, unbreakable.